Namaste everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into a powerful astrological event set to unfold in 2025, the Saturn-Rahu conjunction in Pisces. This rare celestial alignment holds cosmic significance and is believed to bring with it intense karmic energy that could transform the course of world events. Stick around as I unravel the predictions, historical precedents, and the potential global impacts of the conjunction. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to the great sages of India who passed down Vedic astrology to us, and also my teachers, especially my Guruji Sri K.N. Rao, who has ignited my interest in mundane astrology, which is a branch of astrology that studies the worldly events. May his blessings always guide me as I share this analysis with you. Now let's talk about the 2025 Saturn-Rahu conjunction. In 2025, Saturn, the planet of discipline and restriction, will join Rahu, the shadow planet of chaos and unpredictability, in the water sign of Pisces. This powerful alignment is set to shake things up globally. Astrologers are already closely monitoring this event, and we expect to see significant shifts on both a personal and a global scale. Now let's see when this conjunction is going to happen. The exact timing of this conjunction is critical in understanding its impact. Here are the key dates to watch out for. March 29th, 2025, this is the date when Saturn enters Pisces, joining Rahu, which is already present in this sign. And on April 21, 2025, the conjunction reaches its peak as Saturn and Rahu align at the exact same degree in Pisces. And on May 29, 2025, the conjunction concludes as Saturn and Rahu are no more in Pisces together. Rahu moves to Aquarius. Astrologers believe that this conjunction can influence life events, global occurrences, and bring forth deep transformations. So the Saturn-Rahu conjunctions have occurred several times throughout history, often coinciding with global disruptions. For example, in 2002, the conjunction in Taurus marked the continuation of US war in Afghanistan and disasters like the deadly Egyptian train fire. This conjunction happened in the last 150 years. If you see, this conjunction has happened in 1968. It's just one time it has happened. Before that, it happened in few years such as 1819 and 1614. So I have analyzed the historical data of these years, and let's analyze one after the other, starting with 1968. This was when Saturn and Rahu aligned in Pisces. Also, please note that Saturn-Rahu conjunction can happen in any sign. That might not be a rare occurrence, but in Pisces it has been rare. As I explained earlier, in the last 150 years, it happened just once in the 1968. And so it's really rare event. So I wanted to analyze this conjunction, especially in Pisces. So let's start with 1968. This was when Saturn and Rahu aligned in Pisces. The world witnessed turmoil, including powerful earthquakes, tsunamis, and significant political unrest. Here are some key events linked to that alignment. There was a significant earthquake in Japan. The 1968 Tokachi-oki earthquake occurred on May 16, 1968. It led to the loss of lives and caused tsunamis, which contributed to further destruction. This event remains one of the major earthquakes in Japan's history during the 20th century. And also there were a lot of submarine disasters, like the USS Scorpion submarine disaster in the Atlantic Ocean on May 22, 1968. This was a US Navy nuclear submarine which mysteriously sank in the Atlantic, killing all 99 crew members. This cause remains uncertain. There was also a Soviet submarine K-129 sinking in the Pacific Ocean on March 8th. A Soviet ballistic missile submarine sank with 98 crew members on board. There was also a Lake Geneva plane crash in Switzerland on September 24, 1968. This was a Swissair Flight 100, a Convair CV-990, crashed into Lake Geneva shortly after takeoff, killing all 45 people on board. And there was also Japan Airlines Flight 2 crash, San Francisco Bay Area, due to a failed landing approach on November 22nd. There were also Iraq floods in the spring of 1968. Severe flooding in Iraq caused hundreds of deaths and displaced many people. And also there was a Hurricane Gladys in United States in the month of October. A strong hurricane hit Florida, US, causing flooding, storm surges, and wind damage. It resulted in several fatalities and economic losses. In 1968, there was also a Kasiguran earthquake in Philippines, which occurred on August 2nd. It was a 7.6 magnitude earthquake which struck Kasiguran, Aurora, causing widespread destruction, landslides, and tsunamis. It killed around 270 people and damaged buildings, including Manila Cathedral. There was also a significant earthquake which occurred in North India, particularly in the Himalayan region. The earthquake occurred in the Chamoli district of Uttarakhand, which is in the northern part of India. This earthquake had a magnitude of 6.5 on the Richter scale and was part of the seismic activity related to the Himalayan tectonic zone, where the Indian plate collides with the Eurasian plate. Now let's analyze 1819. As you see below, there was a significant tsunami associated with Run of Kutch earthquake in Gujarat, India. On June 16, 1819, this powerful earthquake with an estimated magnitude between 7.7 and 8.2 struck the region, causing widespread destruction and triggering a local tsunami. The earthquake resulted in at least 1,543 deaths and led to the formation of Sindri Lake due to subsidence, as well as Allaban, a natural dam formed by uplifted land. In 1819, there was also Copaipo earthquake. This was a significant event in South American seismic history. In 1819, Bunsoyomi, central Japan earthquake of magnitude more than 7 caused severe damage to rather scattered areas around Lake Biwa. Between July 24 and 30, 1819, a hurricane known as Bay St. Louis hurricane struck the Gulf Coast of the United States. It reached an estimated category 3-4 strength before making landfall, and this caused severe damage across Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi, resulting in over $100,000 in damage and between 43 and 175 fatalities. And we are talking about the year 1819. So that at that time, 100,000 is really a big amount. Also, lot of maritime incidents occurred, like the shipwreck of San Telmo near Cape Horn in South America led to tragic loss of life, and the Zealous shipwreck in the North Sea resulted in significant maritime losses as well. As you can see, in 1819, similar events occurred with respect to earthquakes, tsunamis, and the maritime incidents. But of course, because we are going in the past, it's way back, there are not many historical records. So probably there could have been much more incidents which we don't know. Now coming to 1614, of course the records are much more limited here, but we still see significant natural disasters and maritime incidents, including 1614, the Phoenix shipwreck off the coast of Ireland caused by severe weather conditions led to the loss of the ship and its cargo, and a hurricane in St. Augustine in Florida in 1614 devastated the Spanish colonial settlement, causing widespread destruction. And in December 1614, the Kicho earthquake in Japan triggered a tsunami, causing significant damage and loss of life. So these alignments weren't just associated with natural disasters. There was also political unrest, protests, and assassinations which took center stage. In 1819, for example, we saw the Peterloo massacre in the UK, and in 1868, we saw major assassinations in the US, including the tragic deaths of Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert F. Kennedy. All these happened in the year of 1968 as well. As you saw and compared the historical events, you saw the tsunamis occurred, the air crashes occurred, and the maritime incidents and the submarines. All these events have occurred. So what does this mean for 2025? With the Saturn-Rahu conjunction in Pisces, we are likely to see turbulence, especially related to water, politics, and violence. We can expect tsunamis, hurricanes, earthquakes, and potentially violent political uprisings, air crashes, secret plots which could lead to assassinations targeting key figures. Now, how are we going to see which countries will be having more effects or which countries will have less effects? So we have to see each country's chart to understand what their ascendant is and in which house this Pisces is going to fall. So for example, Japan, because this conjunction is falling in the 4th house, that means we could definitely expect homeland destruction due to tsunamis and earthquakes. So this year, Japan has to pay more attention and more precautions for the and stay alert for the seismic activities and stay alert on the monitoring as well. And also USA, because it falls in the 8th house of sudden events. Like that, we have to check for each and every country and see how that country is impacted. But I would like to mention as a word of caution to all those people living in vulnerable areas, especially coastal or earthquake prone zones. It's essential to stay alert and prepared. Keep track of weather updates and seismic activity. Let's also remember that the best way to protect ourselves during these challenging times is through spirituality, kindness, and helping others. May we all find peace, strength, and resilience in the year ahead. If you are following a Hindu religion, please read Mahamrityunjay mantras and Shani mantras and also Vishnu Sahasranama to reduce the effects of Rahu, Saturn, and to get overall protection to you. Let's embrace the challenges, stay connected, and continue to support one another. And especially stay safe and spiritually grounded. Thank you.